Anakin never got to finish my training. I walked away from him, just like I walked away from Sabine.
You never made things easy for me, Master.
Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here, hope you're all doing well, and in this video we have a new tease and inside look on Sabine Wren for the Ahsoka show. Let's go ahead and hop right on into it. In this video we are going to be taking a read from the Direct's article. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. As a read, the new Sabine actress Natasha Liu Bordizzo has purposely avoided copying the Star Wars Rebels version of the character Sabine Wren. Now, Ahsoka Sabine Wren actress Natasha Liu Bordizzo just revealed why she chose to avoid copying the animated version of her character. While Ahsoka will be Sabine's first live-action appearance in the Star Wars universe, The Mandalorian Warrior originally premiered in Star Wars Rebels 2014, the animated show, as one of the show's leading characters. There, she was voiced by actress Tiya Sircar for 4 seasons of the show. As for what Sabine is like these days in the Mandoverse, Natasha Liu Bordizzo previously teased that she's been through a lot, and she's still a stubborn cookie. Natasha Liu Bordizzo also has noted that Sabine's only thinking about that obligation that she has towards Ezra Bridger throughout the Ahsoka series. Sabine won't be alone during her transition to live action though. She'll also be joined by a majority of her old team, the Ghost Crew, including Hera, Ezra, and Chopper. In a new recent interview with SFX magazine, Ahsoka actress Natasha Liu Bordizzo, who plays Sabine in the show, talked about why she avoided copying the animated version of her character. The actress first made sure to clarify that she loved Tiya Sircar's Sabine version, but she never wanted to try to copy someone else, saying that in full quote, "I loved Tiya Sircar's Sabine. I loved the energy, the sarcasm, and the playfulness that really made Sabine, well, Sabine. But obviously, it's a delicate balance because I never really wanted to try to copy someone. I wanted to be inspired by the energy that they put into the character, and then make it into my own role," ending that quote right there. It's a unique situation. It's not like she hates the voice actress or the portrayal, the way that the character was kind of voiced or made in the animated show. It's kind of in a way that she's trying to put her own twist on it, in a way essentially from that transition of the two leading boundaries of that. Well, there's a big time jump since we've last seen this character at the end of Star Wars Rebels, and then for the other leading factor of that, well, this is in live action, that was in animation. It's, I think, the best way to compare this to is kind of like, well, Ahsoka during the Clone Wars in animation, and then seeing her in The Mandalorian Season 2 in live action. Or for another comparison would be Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars compared to Hayden Christensen's Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith. They're almost kind of different in a way, with how those characters are told, or the way that they're kind of voiced and acted out. It's really, at the end of the day, I think, putting their own twist on that character, maybe comparing it to the way that Tobey Maguire played Spider-Man, comparing it to how Tom Holland played the character. Natasha Bordizzo also shared that how she watched everything before filming actually began, including the animated series Star Wars Rebels, of course, where Sabine is first introduced. As she says, in quote, "And of course I watched everything, including the original films, The Mandalorian, and of course Rebels, but I didn't watch anything after we started filming because otherwise it gets too much. We wanted to have space, take all the experiences and memories and inspirations from everything that you've watched, and then let that live action you're creating find its own truth, its own journey," ending that quote right there. Once again, kind of just saying that she's paving her own way, essentially, in the comparisons of, well, that was in animation and that took place in this point in the Star Wars timeline, comparing to when I'm playing it in live action, not in animation, during this part of the Star Wars timeline. It's kind of bound to be played a little bit different, of course. The actress pivoted to give praise to the Ahsoka showrunner Dave Filoni, claiming that he really just trusted us. As she has said in full quote, "Just to have the creator around every day is a luxury. He's like this bottomless pit of knowledge and the guardian of the story and the characters. Also, he really just trusted us. While we would go to him for guidance, he'd also say, 'You are Sabine. action. So whatever you instinctively feel is right, ending that quote right there. Also taking some words from Dave Filoni on kind of some of the inspiration or some of the really just overall guidance for playing these characters in live action, because these are already all pre-established characters that we've all seen and have loved in the animated show. I always find it really fascinating, interesting, and heartwarming to see when showrunners, creators, directors, filmmakers give that trust to the actors to play those characters, especially when they are already pre-established. Is really cool to see and see how that kind of works out. And I will also say that it is good that Natasha Liu Bordizzo isn't entirely ignoring her character's history, something similar to what we saw with the Grand Inquisitor, comparing that to Rebels in animation to how we saw him in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show in live action, because when the Obi-Wan Kenobi show takes place is before those events of when we see him in the Rebels show. And the actor of the Grand Inquisitor did say that he purposely avoided watching Star Wars Rebels because of that reason, of that he didn't want to copy an older, more wiser version of that character. In this sense, for Sabine Wren, and not just her, but for a lot of the other characters from Star Wars Rebels, the Ghost Crew really, that we are now seeing here, they are now more wiser and older than when we saw them originally in the Star Wars Rebels show. And so from the sound of it, she's honoring Sabine's previous performances while leaving room for her own unique kind of own quirks. Us fans are also likely to be excited to hear that she's seen all of Rebels before filming the Ahsoka show. This is the opposite approach that Rupert Friend took with the Grand Inquisitor for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, as he purposely avoided watching the character's previous history in Rebels. In turn, the reception to his take on the villain was anything but positive, from his performance to his look at that, but that's the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, as I had mentioned. Changes aren't all that bad, however. After all, even the original Thrawn actor, Lars Mikkelsen, will be making some adjustments for the live-action incarnation of the character Thrawn. He shared in an interview that he'll also be toning down the whole medalist approach, as the actor felt that it was too much for live action, of meaning that he won't necessarily sound as upbeat or as, I guess, sarcastic in a way, of the way that we kind of heard Thrawn in Star Wars Rebels. To make those meaningful changes and adjustments to these larger-than-life characters, it's simply important to have a full understanding and picture of them at that. One can't achieve that without being well versed in them, which, in this case, it seems Natasha Bordizzo is. Thankfully, the same can be said for Rosario Dawson, who's done nothing but amazing with Ahsoka when we have seen her in live action in The Mandalorian Season 2 and in the Book of Boba Fett. This year all being said, we can expect a few different tunes, I think, at that, own different kind of quirks, and a little bit of a difference of when we are going to see Sabine compared to how we saw her in the animation and the versus in live action here for the upcoming Ahsoka show. As I had mentioned earlier on at the beginning of this video, similar to how we saw Hayden Christensen playing the character versus how we saw him in the animation of Clone Wars. Guys, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, guys. Of course, I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking, your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, what you're looking forward to seeing most with the Ahsoka show overall, but also Sabine Wren, and kind of comparing her to the animation to live action, guys. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one, guys. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.